Hi, I'm Ruth Angelina, and this is Simply Made Fancy. And you know what? Not even a pandemic is gonna stop me from celebrating my loved ones and making a cake. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how I made this beautiful ombre green cake, and I'm also gonna teach you how to make this beautiful cake topper with balloons. One of my greatest joys is to be able to celebrate people, and the way that I like to do it is by baking them a cake. And this is what I'm doing. And even though we are going through this pandemic, I am so grateful that I get to bless someone with a birthday cake and celebrate them. For this cake, what I'm doing is a green ombre effect, and I'm using 3 different color frostings. So 2 different color greens, Kelly green and a lighter version, and then white vanilla frosting, or white buttercream frosting to be precise. And I just made a simple vanilla yellow cake, nothing too crazy, just my regular simple cake, and buttercream in between. So to begin, I'm going to do the white buttercream, and then I'm going to layer it as I go around and build the color up so it looks like an ombre, starting from the darkest on the bottom and then the lightest. But I wanted to do the top first and then work my way around. So let's get started. And I also have another special topper that I'm going to do. I've never tried this before, but I'm trying to make a balloon garland for the top of the cake. I don't know if this is gonna work out. I'm going to try it. If not, we'll just have a nice green ombre cake, and that's about it. But let me get started on this, and it's just basically just putting the buttercream and getting that done. And I have a glass of hot water with mine. Just so that it can make it smooth on top. The reason why I wanted to do the white first is because I don't want to get a lot of the green mixed into it, and I wanted to start off with that first. And that's basically it. But then I'll layer it. The rest, I'll start from the bottom to the top after that. And I'm running out of buttercream. And this is a cake that I've had to figure out how to make. That's why it's super simple, just vanilla cake, because since I haven't been making a lot of cakes, I don't have a lot of the supplies on hand, and I'm not buying things like I used to in bulk, because I was getting more and more calls to make cakes. And since I've had to not make as much or bake as much, I haven't had the opportunity, so I don't have a lot of the supplies. So I just wanted to make a basic cake. It's an 8-inch cake, and I'm sure it's going to turn out fine. But you guys, you can do this. This is, you know, I know that a lot of people at home, you know, have had to celebrate their birthdays alone, or have to kind of come up with ways to celebrate their loved ones. We've been at a couple of like car birthday parades, and for my boys' friends and for different family members. And it's been fun just to even do that. We dress up our car, we bring balloons. Our neighbor next door, his daughter who just turned, I believe, like 11, she had the same thing, and it was so cute to see all her friends come and you know, cheer her on and honk horns and play, you know, happy birthday music in the car. It's awesome. So we've had to adjust and do things a little bit differently, but still remember to celebrate our loved ones. my two boys, my two littlest, had their birthdays right at the beginning of the pandemic in March. Literally, one of them birthday was canceled within a day, because that's when everything kind of hit and we had to like cancel everything, and he was so bummed out, but we tried to make it as special as possible. And then my other son also, that's birthday's in March. My husband as well is a March birthday, so we had a lot of missed birthday parties, but not celebrations, because we still managed to celebrate our loved ones. I finished off the top of the cake, the first 1/3 of the cake, I guess, if you want to say that, since it's 3 colors. And I just smoothed it. It doesn't have to be super perfect. I like the cakes when they're a little bit more natural looking. Now, if it would have been like a wedding cake or something like that, I would probably like smooth it out a little more. But this is a ombre. I want it to be just more like natural, I guess. And now it's time to just plop on. You can also use a piping bag to do it. I just decided that I'm just gonna like do it free form and just plop a bunch of the buttercream on the bottom and then start scraping it off later on. So that's my technique. I call it plopping. Yeah, not a technical word, but I'm just gonna be doing that because I wanted a little bit more rustic, but not a naked cake either. I just want it to look just natural, like have the more natural look. I know it would have been a little bit less messier if I had the piping bags, but this is just such a simple and quick, easy cake. And you guys can do it at home. I also wanted to do something that, like, if you don't have a tool like a piping bag, you can also do that as well and not worry that you have to go out and get all these supplies, because this cake, it's so simple that you can make it. If you don't have a cake recipe, just make a box cake. It's all right, and it'll be super special. And the buttercream is so easy. It's butter, vanilla, and powdered sugar, and that's basically what buttercream is. So 3 to 4 cups of powdered sugar, 1 cup of butter, but like a little bit, not room temperature, still a little bit harder than room temperature. You whip the butter, you put the sugar, you put the vanilla. I always do a little pinch of salt in there, and then you add water as you see the consistency coming together. If you want it a little bit smoother or like softer, you add more water. If you want it a little bit thicker, you don't. And it always just depends on what you're looking for, what consistency you're looking for. So I went all around the cake. I feel like I have enough of this green. I might have put too much because here I am like chit-chatting. Just gonna go and do just like a quick swipe so it's not so much. So that's that color. Now I'm going to do the lighter, and the way that I did the lighter color is the same like Kelly green. I use the Wilton's gel colors. That's what I had in my cupboard. You can use whatever is accessible to you. And all I did was that I put more Kelly green in this batch and just less of it in this batch to make it lighter. And that's basically how I got the color. I didn't, have to go out and buy 2 different greens. You just lighten it up with, just adding less. And that's basically it. So now right above that green, I'm gonna add the other green, leaving a little bit of a space. If you can see, you want some of the white to show, and you don't want to go so deep into the darker Kelly green. Okay, so as you can see, I've put the two green colors, and now all I'm going to do is smooth it out just like I did with the white, but now it's going to kind of like mix into each other a little bit. So even if you want to like maybe swipe it up a little bit if you want to do that before. I think I'm pretty good because this cake is not that tall. I usually make taller cakes, but this is just a small little celebration. People are not having big, parties anymore, so they don't want things that are super big and you're gonna have cake forever. So I'm just going to start doing that, and the colors will be revealed. So just keep smoothing it out until you get the consistency that you want. I'm almost done. Just gonna add, maybe smooth it a little more, and then that should be complete. And then I'm gonna start the topper. I'm just going to clean up the base, move all that extra cake that fell, wipe off some of the water droplets from my offset spatula. It's cake topper time, and here are my supplies. I'm going to attempt to make a balloon garland for my cake topper, and it's going to have these same kind of color effect that the cake has in that ombre effect with different color greens. I got these balloons at the dollar store, and I wish I would have been able to get smaller balloons. Balloons like water balloons do not work because they pop easily, so you need good quality balloons. I wanted to get 5-inch, but that was not available. Only 12 inches is usually what's available in most places, but I would have rather get 5 inches, but it's fine. We're going to make do and try to figure this out. I made a couple of samples already to see if I can attempt to get it the way that I want. As you can see, this is like a minty green. I have some clear ones and some pearled. I was so excited they had pearled in the dollar store. Pearled Kelly green, and then this other kind of like lime kiwi green as well. So I have this wire. It's floral wire for when I make flowers for my cakes, and that's what I have. You can use any kind of wire that you have. I happen to just have this. I also am gonna be using these straws, and I had green straws. These are paper straws. I had green in my cupboard, so I'm gonna use that as the little hanging thing where the balloon garden is going to be attached to. And you're gonna need, of course, scissors, a low temp glue gun with your glue, and I also had these little styrofoam balls, which I might attempt to wrap some of the balls in case I can't blow them, because it gave me a little bit of a hard time. This is gonna take longer than even baking the cake and frosting it, because this is, one, I've never done this before, and two, I'm using way too big balloons to do it, so I have to like try to, adjust the way that they are. So let's get started. Hopefully this will work out. why am I making a balloon garland for this cake topper? Well, the birthday boy is married to my cousin, and my cousin is a balloon artist. She makes the most impressive balloon art, arches, and decorations and garlands. So I thought that I would surprise her with my own kind of take on some of the work that she does and do it as a cake topper, because it's their family business and I thought that they would love that. And it's a little bit of a surprise because she doesn't know that this is happening, and he of course does not know as well. So I'm using all the colors from the cake, like the greens, and using also alternating like white and pearl and clear to make this balloon arch. I'm gonna start with adding all of the bigger ones first. And I think the best technique I find is to just wrap it in the wire first. And then I'll figure it out and tweak and move everything around. And once I can start hot gluing a couple of the balloon attached to it, that will make it a little bit. So already you can kind of see what I'm trying to accomplish. So there it is. You have to make sure like that it's really tight, because the air will come out if it's not tight enough. I think I'm gonna have to do this one a little bit. Go a little bit more. Okay, so this is as good as this one's gonna get. I wish I would have not had this big knot. I'm afraid that it might lose air. But what you can do as well is just kind of like do another little knot closer to the bottom. Excess balloon, you can just cut it off. Okay. I think that's as good as this one's gonna get. So just add it to my garland. I finally finished with the hardest thing, I think, of putting together this balloon garland, and that's blowing the balloons and tying them. Good thing I haven't had a manicure in months, many weeks, because this is like really hurting my fingers. I don't know how people that do balloon art are always tying balloons and they don't hurt their fingers. Maybe there's a technique that I don't know, but I blew up all my balloons, or at least the majority of them, and I've spaced them out to kind of look at where I want all the balloons to go. I haven't put them together yet, except for like the first 3. And I have my glue gun going, and then I'm just going to start kind of like assembling everything. So as you can see, this is kind of what I wanted, like a zigzag pattern of the colors. I'm going to swap it out over here, and these are the only 3 that I have attached. And it's pretty simple to do the glue. You just, since it's low temp, your balloon is not gonna pop, and you just want to like, I want to place it where exactly I want that balloon to be, so that I can glue it to each other. So that's much easier and not moving around. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. And then in between, I'm trying to attempt to do like little ones in the clear and pearl to kind of like, you know, toss them around here and there, so that you're gonna wanna like figure out where your placement is of everything. complete. I think I pulled it off. What do you guys think? It's so cute. I can't wait to put it on top of the cake, and I can't wait for everybody to see this little creation. I'm so excited about this one. So what do you guys think? Did I do a good job? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Happy baking!